before we get into Deathbats, everything good? Like we're still in this weird time. Wife, kids, all good? Everybody healthy?
Everyone's good. We actually went to a recital today that they haven't been able to do for the last year and a half. So it's interesting to go out, but I think we got the mask mandate came back today. So it was interesting where, getting back to school and seeing some live performances from the kids, but, bad news are always around the corner. So it was nice to get out though.
Was it both your kids? What instruments are they playing?
Well, yeah, so it's for school and they were just kind of doing plays, like singing and Christmas songs. And it's good to get them on stage and get them, feeling the adrenaline of a crowd and actually getting to perform, which is, it's a good learning thing for them.
Yeah, I was going to dive in with a bunch of stuff about the Deathbat NFTs. But I think I realized that the NFT itself and the Deathbats Club is kind of a much bigger concept than just digital merch for you guys. How do you see this whole the club and the NFT process as a way to connect with fans?
I mean, there are so many rabbit holes to go down here, and I think once people get into the space and they kind of take it seriously and see what the tech in terms of Web3, blockchain, and what smart contracts can do for people, whether it's fractionalizing merchant or fractionalizing publishing in a direct consumer to artist basis, whether it's airdropping tickets or metaverse items or avatars or all these things that people are doing online, or whether it's connecting real world utility to like a fan club sort of thing, whether it's being at a live show, getting your ticket stub airdrop to you, or winning meet and greets, or having no line into shows. So there's so many different aspects we can go into, and it gets deeper and deeper. And I think that's why this has been so interesting to us, because we've kind of been studying it for a while, and it seems like once you have this, and there's no going back, right? You're not going to want to go to a normal fan club if you have all these extra things you can do with the blockchain.
Yeah, so, and that's kind of what I wanted to get into. Like, I think for the uninitiated, of which I am a strong member of, like when I think of an NFT or like, a piece of art or something or a token, I go, oh, okay, I buy that. I get that. It's mine. It's unique. I have it forever and nobody can take it away. It can't be fungible away from me. But what you guys are doing with these Deathbats, which by the way, I'm just looking at a few of them now, the red, white, and blue American Grandma Skull, R2D2 Deathbat.
What they are is they're these digital IDs on the blockchain that basically count as a double to a membership into a club, right? And so, but the membership can be whatever the creators or the devs want it to be, right? And so in our case, or in the Bored Apes case, they basically say, okay, if you have a Bored Ape, you get access to parties, you get access to, we do yacht parties, we do these meetups in Vegas, we drop merchandise for you. We have like a Web3 part of the website where only token holders can get in, and you guys can, ideate and be on a, draw stuff on a graffiti board. So it's like built for that audience, right? And so what we were thinking was, well, we have 21 years of utility built in. People already want these things from us. So the way that we're tokenizing it makes it actually much easier for us to communicate and actually give the token holders much more, because it's so easy to see where everyone's at. And it's easy to send on the blockchain.
All right. And if you want to get, are you ready for a really dumb question?
Yeah.
Can you buy a Deathbat? Can you get into the club? Can I put that on my credit card?
No.
What do I have to do first?
So what you're talking about there is the biggest hurdle that we've found, right? So you have to get Ethereum, which is the number 2 biggest cryptocurrency in the world. So it's 0.08 Ether. So once the Deathbats are all sold out, basically it's all in the secondary market. So we have no sway over what it costs to get in. And so what you see with like the Bored Apes, when I got into the Bored Apes, you could get them for $90 or $100. Now a Bored Ape goes for about $300,000. And that's because the people that are in the club and the value that they're offering makes it so that people aren't willing to sell their Bored Apes. They want to be a part of that community. Now, our community is not going to be like that, because our community is not this crypto savvy, trying to like do these certain things. I think ours will be, listen, we're first to do this. And our audience is still learning how to get involved. They're learning what crypto is. They're learning what NFTs are. And so right now you can get in the club for $400. That might go down to $50. It might go up to 100,000. You just never know, right? But what's cool about this is if you buy a Metallica fan club, right, and you get the perks, or you do a Patreon, you're just putting money into something and you're getting an experience. But then when you leave, you get nothing back. The cool thing about these tokens is whenever you want to leave or you're out of it and you're over it, you can sell it to somebody else that wants to be in the club. And if you have enough people that want to be in the club, that should drive the price up. But we hate talking about the price because at the end of the day, we've kept these things pretty low price so that fans can get in and fans can understand what it is to own a digital, rare, scarce item on the blockchain.
Essentially, you're talking about investing in the band.
You're investing in the band. You're investing in the club, right? And if you look at like when new bands sign labels, why do they do that? Well, they do it because they need money to fund their record, and they do it because they need tour support. What I believe the new model will be is where people release these tokens to a small group, and they basically get shares in the band, and the band will go record with the money they raise, and then the bigger the band gets, the people that are in the club will actually be rewarded from it. Instead of in Web 2, everybody makes the money except the artist and except the consumer. And it's one of these weird things that we've decided that it's okay that we give up our data, we give up our connection to our audience for likes and hearts. And it's something that we've done, and we've just said, oh, that's cool. Like, I got a bunch of likes on Facebook. Cool. While they steal your data and they sell it to your fans. If we want to make a post to our Facebook fans, which we had 20 million of them at one point, we would have to pay like $1 million to Facebook for our fans. And this changes everything. And it does in a way that I could explain, but it doesn't make sense on this interview to do that. But it's something that we're very interested in. And we plan on bringing that value to our fans first. And so we're kind of just walking through the fire on this thing, but people seem to be really happy with it right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, what you're talking about a lot of big picture stuff, obviously, and kind of almost walking on the moon of some independency for both bands and fans to control their stuff and keep the money in the community. I wish you luck. How is trading going right now? I know it just kind of went online today. Yes,
it's great, and for us, the NFT space, as you can assume, because I'm sure you've heard about it, right? And there's a lot of people that go, oh, it's a scam or it's a Ponzi scheme or this and that. And the reason they get that kind of vibe is because it is for a lot of people, right? They create a token. They tell you they're going to do a bunch of stuff. People buy and they sell them. You say, oh, I got a rare one. Then you just got to hope that the developers are going to do something with it. The difference with us is that, number one, we have our reputation on the line. We have 21 years of building a fan base that we're not just going to, quote unquote, rug pull them. And so for us to put as much as we can into this community and to build it as much as we can and to give things out like the metaverse or to give things out like airdrops and merchandise and all these things, it actually makes a lot of sense for people like us who have an audience. And so it's one of those things where people, they have a bad taste in their mouth because of a lot of things we see online, but this is much different. And to me, this will be the future of all bands doing fan clubs, because once you have this experience, you're not going to want to go back to the other experience. You're not going to believe that you have to pay $400 to meet the band. And you're not going to believe that you have to, go through Live Nation to use a POAP, which is a proof of attendance, just to get your ticket stub. And they're all going to look the same. To me, this is going to be so interactive and cool that people are going to go, why aren't you doing this to every band? Which I want to apologize now, because I think this will be the norm in about a year. And by the way, look at when CDs got wiped out and streaming came in, Napster. That was all on the moon, idealistic, crap. Sure. And it happened so quick. And now with this technology, I mean, we can all look at the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum and what it's doing and how Web3 is taking over. This stuff's going to come so quick that in about a year or two, it's going to go, wow, that doesn't sound that crazy. Because there's already, it's crazy what's happening.
I know that there were a lot of people, and myself included, even if you aren't super knowledgeable and have gotten into looking in the future, if you're just looking at it as an investment for something's hot, how many times have you in the last year or two kicked yourself because you haven't bought, say, Dogecoin, which just went up because Elon Musk tweeted something about it. This is all ground floor stuff, and what you're talking about, I think, has some immediate benefits to fans, and I wish you the best of luck, man. And the Deathbats, by the way, are really cool. Even if you want to buy them for a Deathbat, do you feel like people might buy this for Christmas for their Avenged Sevenfold fans in the family?
Absolutely. And I just want to make one point. The thing about Dogecoin is that's a speculative shit coin. And everybody that's serious in this space knows that, right? And so if you're going to sit there and go like, that's now, to me, that's just a purely, hopefully I'm the last guy out, right?
Right.
But if you actually look at Ethereum and you look at what Bitcoin's done, and you look at what blockchain is and why it's important, and why DeFi and when you're talking about music in the future and art have all gone on chain, and what it means, and for video games, what it's going to mean to own your assets instead of borrowing and renting. These are serious implications that are going to happen across the web, and things like Dogecoin just muddy the waters of what the technology really is, in my opinion. And a lot of NFTs have done that too. They muddy the water of what can actually be done in the space. So I just wanted to put that flag there and just let people know this is not like some gamble Dogecoin, hope I'm the last guy in.
Don't listen to me. I saw that it went up because Musk tweeted something. Don't listen to me. Em, I can't let you go without asking. And I remember, gosh, I think it was February where you guys were like, hey, I think we got 70% of a new album done. We're definitely not going to tour until the grip of the pandemic is over. Are we still in the grip of the pandemic? And what are the plans for the music?
Well, it seems to be coming back, and it's not that we don't want to. It's just that we have to be very careful about getting everything going, building a whole new stage set, hiring everybody, renting buses, and then having one person get sick and then the tour gets canceled and we get to be on the hook for everything. And it's not that we don't want to do it. And people compare us to bands that are going and playing clubs. It's not the same thing. Like getting an arena tour going and playing these festivals, it's just not the same thing. And also we want to be mentally ready. Like right now, and these are all going to sound like crazy excuses, but these are real. We have a huge stage we want to get built. We can't get people to work. We can't get the supplies we need to build it, which there's a supply chain problem as well. And you go look at the Long Beach, at the port right now, and these boats are just stuck out there. And so we have all these things going on where we're not going to come back on stage and have the stage from the stage record and then just go, well, same show 4 years later. Sorry guys, record's not done because we couldn't finish it. So I would just say, starting in January, we are going to put our nose to the grind and we are going to finish this record. And then we're doing a couple shows in Europe. And then I would love to, and I don't want to step on Danny Wimmer's toes here, but I would love to start with like an Aftershock and then book a tour out from there. Aftershock Festival. So we're going to be doing stuff, but yeah, it's just kind of like making sure we're mentally there and that we put our best foot forward when we do come out and make sure that it's all good.
Right on. M Shadows, Deathbat, the Deathbat Club. You can get in there now and get your Event Sevenfold NFT token. Thanks.
I just want to say, if it's a burden to anybody, don't buy it. Right? Like it's speculative, it's fun. Like, and so we've been saying this to everybody. Like this is supposed to be fun. If you're saving up and you can't pay your rent and can't pay your mortgage, or I'm sorry, your food bill, then don't get these things. But we do think we're going to add a lot of value to them, and we think it's going to be fun.